thriving. Oh yeah, I'm living my best life.
Hello and welcome to my very first episode of A Lot of Alexis. I am Alexis Cooper and I am so glad that you're here. I've been dreaming of doing this podcast for quite a while now. I actually thought about doing it years ago, and it was one of those things that you just really never tell anybody because you think it's silly or it's something you couldn't accomplish. And I got lucky and I told the right person. He's amazing, and he literally handed me the opportunity on a silver platter. And let me just say, when somebody does that, you say yes and you just go with it. So I'm here. I've shaken out the nerves. I'm so glad that you're here with me, and I'm ready to go. I've thought of a lot of ways to start this first episode because, believe me, I had many options, but who doesn't love a good game? We're going to play a game of who, what, when, where, why. Starting with who. Obviously, it's me, Alexis. I am 28, and here I go on my first tangent because what even is 28? You know, you're not any real golden age. You know, you get excited when you turn 16, 18, 21, 25, you can rent a car. 30, you're 30. You're not even mid-20s anymore. You're just floating around between I can rent a car and I'm not 30. So I figured, let's make it special, let's start something new, and let's do it. I am also the wife to an amazing man and my best friend. His name is Matt, and he will definitely be on if I can get him here at some point. You're going to be hearing a lot about him. And we have a daughter. Her name is Callie. She is just turning 2 years old, which is crazy. So that makes me a wife and a mom, which some days I still cannot believe that that's true. I am a sister, a daughter, and a friend to many amazing people that I truly hope will be on this podcast with me one day so we can have a lot of fun. I am a self-employed hairdresser, and to find the balance between all the things that I've said already about me has really brought me to this place to start a podcast and want to share my story and all these different components to my life. Because being in my 20s, a wife, a mom, a sister, daughter, friend, hairdresser, it sounds like so much, and it is, but I feel like I'm finally at this point in my life where I've found this beautiful balance. Doesn't mean every day is easy, but I've found a really awesome balance where I'm just so beyond grateful for where I'm at today. I have two beautiful little sisters. One is 5.5 years younger than me, and one is 16 years younger than me. So I'm definitely going to have both of them in here on this podcast because we have been through a journey. My little sister growing up, or her growing up, it was my favorite. I got to act like I was this almost like a young mom. And I still feel that motherly energy towards her because there is such a gap, and we're in such obviously different phases of life. She is going to be so fun to have in here. And my sister, who's 5.5 years younger than me, we've been through so much, and I'm very excited to have her on because I think everyone will be very interested to hear our journey as far as what we've been through. Like I said, I'm only 28 and she's not that much younger than me, but we've been through a lot and our family's been through a lot, and every day is not sunshine and rainbows. And there was a good chunk of time where we didn't get to be sisters to each other how we wanted. So I will definitely have her on because I want her to be able to tell her side while I tell mine. So stay tuned for that. Another thing about me is I am a Virgo to a T. I don't know if you follow horoscopes or not, but if you look up Virgo in Google, you will see my face plastered everywhere. I'm a perfectionist. I'm picky. Everything that a Virgo is, that is me. And I'm proud that I can be that. However, I feel bad for all of the people around me because I would never want to deal with myself. I am definitely an extrovert and very opinionated, which you will get to know very well as the episodes go on. I am a political enthusiast, you can say. I won't bore you with all that stuff right now, but I'm sure that we'll get there. Just very passionate is all. And I'm definitely a reality TV lover. I guess TV and film in general. I love a good TV show. It will definitely be through the evolution of the podcast. I would love to add a segment talking about TV and film and movie reviews, TV reviews, talking about the latest episode of a reality competition show that was on. I love it. I feel like I watch them all. I grew up dancing and singing and acting, which is probably why I love TV so much. I started dancing when I was 2, and I don't go consistently to classes in my adult life. Obviously, I don't have too much extra time on my hands, but it's always going to be a part of my life. Even for Matt and my wedding, we had our wedding dance choreographed, and that was really, really fun. So it's something that I truly try to keep a part of my life at any time. I guess I can add podcaster to the list now of things about me, which is pretty cool. I'm very excited to be able to say that. But beyond all of those things about me, and there's probably plenty that I'm forgetting, and you'll get to know me very well as these episodes go on, I'm truly just somebody that loves to connect with people. I feel like this is a way that I can be a part of your day, and you can be a part of mine, and it's just such a cool thing to finally be able to be doing this. I feel like the best conversations happen when they're open and honest and unfiltered, and that is what I am here to give you. Also, part of the who game of the podcast are the people that I'm going to have on. I have so many amazing people in my life, and I'm very lucky to call them friends and family, and we are definitely going to have some fun and spice things up with multiple people on. Now let's get into the what, because the most common question I get when I say, hey, I'm starting a podcast is, what are you going to talk about? So the what is actually what took me the longest to figure out, because judging from all I've told you so far in this episode, there's a lot of layers to who I am. And when you look up a podcast, they all fit into a box or a category or a genre. And as much as I feel like I will find that, I can't come to you episode 1 and say, this is what you're going to be listening to every week. The reason why the podcast is called A Lot of Alexis is because it's going to be a lot of me in all sides and everything that I bring to the table and can offer. So, you're getting into the motherhood, the marriage, fitness, being a hairdresser, and more. And so I don't want to fit into just one box, because all of those things are so different, and there's so much to say about all of them. Each week, if you see the title of an episode and you think, oh, that might not be my cup of tea, tune in anyway, because it might end up being your favorite episode yet. So the when, I'm at a point in my life where I am excited to add another layer to all that I have going on. I found my husband, my career, we gave birth to a beautiful baby, and being able to juggle all of these things while being able to start a podcast now is what I think is going to make it so special. I started to think, what are some things you're going to regret not doing later on in life? And honestly and truly, the only thing I had on that list was this podcast. So I'm very excited for the when of this game that it is now, and it is today that you get to listen to me. So now we are on to the where. I am located in New Hampshire, born and raised. Although it is a beautiful state and we have the lovely 4 seasons, I am not a winter gal. So I am happy that my daughter will see snow, because I see on social media kids that live in warm climates and they never see snow. So as much as I think I could pick up New Hampshire and put it somewhere else on the map, I would feel so weird. Like I said, I was born and raised here, not having Callie, my daughter, see snow. That would be pretty freaky to me. So I do love it here. I will never leave. When all else fails, there's no sales tax, so we love that. Also involved in the wear is this beautiful studio that I'm in. It feels like home. I cannot wait to have guests here and see their reaction, and I can't wait to see your reaction when these videos come out and you get to see how comfortable I am here. So on to the why. Like I said, I was given the gift of gab, so I better use it. I talk to myself constantly, so if I give myself a day-long podcast, why not share it with you? When I have a client in my chair, we talk constantly. So at the end of the day, I spend pretty much 24/7, besides when I'm sleeping, talking. So why not put myself in front of a microphone and talk to you? Because like I said before, I truly do just want to connect with as many people as possible. Another part of my why was not too long ago, I saw this meme. I know, social media. I saw this meme, and if you can picture it, it was a picture of a highway, and there were all the cars on the highway. And each car was labeled with what the person was going through who was driving. So there were good things like just got their first job, just got their driver's license, on their way to work. And then there was some unfortunate things, just had a death in the family, anything along the spectrum from good to bad they were going through. So that was on the picture, and I was just staring at it, and I was thinking, you go through life and you're your own main character. None of those people on the road know what anybody else is going through. You can also picture it as something like you're at the mall or the grocery store, and you're really just coexisting with all of these people who have the mall or grocery store on their to-do list for the day. You wake up, you have a plan, whether the plan sticks for the day or not, you know what you're going through that day. And so I found myself looking at this meme with all these different cars and driving on the road myself and looking around after I saw it, trying to look into other cars. Yes, it sounds creepy, bear with me, and think, are they having a good day? Are they having a bad day? Why do I feel like I want to be their bestie? What's going on? I'll go to the store and I just like, okay, who doesn't love to people watch? So I guess it's really not that creepy because I know you all love to do it too. But you're looking around and you're just thinking, what is their day like? And we're always just so, it's not a bad thing, but we're just so self-absorbed in thinking of our day and what we're doing and getting in and out and making our day as smooth as possible. But what about everybody around us? So this podcast is my solution to being a part of as many people's day as I can. And I want to make every day better. I want you to listen to this podcast and smile and laugh. And, there'll be some heavy stuff on the podcast too. Not everybody's life is just sunshine and rainbows. There's bad days, and I'm here to be transparent and honest and share those days too. So I want you to go through it with me. My why for this is to literally connect with as many people as I can. And the good stuff make you laugh and smile, and the not so amazing stuff, maybe you say, wow, I'm not the only one going through that, or hey, me too, or oh, I get it. And it's just to create this community of awesome people that just get each other, and I think it's going to be really awesome and fun. Speaking of the meme and driving, I have a very pressing question that I just thought of today. So I was driving and I hit a yellow light. And I need you to picture this. Every detail I say matters. The speed limit's 40. You're going 37. You're going 37. Okay? You hit a yellow light. Do you go through it or do you slam on your brakes? Because the reason why I say 37, it was the exact speed I was going, and it was the worst, there was the perfect storm of the speed I was going, the distance from the light. Neither option felt right. If you go through that light, you know that you're going to see it turn red as you go under. And then you're looking for a cop. Did I do something wrong? It doesn't feel like you did the right thing. But you also know that if you slam on your brakes, all of the contents of your purse or whatever is in your seat is going to end up on the floor. And you're not going higher than the speed limit here, but sometimes it's just that perfect storm where you're like, I got a baby in the back seat. Hold on, girl, because we're stopping. Or great, now all of my contents on the floor. So genuinely, I want to know, what do you do? What do you do? I want you to message me and tell me, because the choice that I make, I just need to feel like other people are behind me, because neither feels right. So that is my question for you. And now I'm going to get into your questions for me. This is a segment called Ask Alexis. And I have been posting a lot on my Instagram stories. I'll do fun polls that you can answer, but specifically, I asked you to ask me questions to answer on the first couple episodes. So I'm going to go through a couple of those now. So someone asked me, what is your Starbucks order? Number one, I'm giving you props that you know that I like Starbucks over Dunkin's. I did go to Dunkin's today, so don't judge. I like them both, but you knew I was a Starbucks girly. So I like a skinny vanilla latte. And I'm going to throw a curveball. I don't care if it's hot or iced. Like I said, I'm a New England girl, so I'm not afraid of ice in the winter, but I do not have a preference whatsoever. Skinny vanilla latte it is. So another question, what is your favorite trending product right now? So being a hairdresser, I'm assuming you mean hair product. So I love, right now, my go-to is the entire Amika line. If you've seen it, you know why. The packaging is adorable and everything in the brand works. They have the exact thing on the packaging. They have cute names for everything, but literally what it says on the packaging is what it's going to do. So right now, my favorite products for hair is basically the entire Amika line. So definitely get that. Question 3, how is life different after being a mom? Well, that is a loaded question, isn't it? So how I would start is probably something simple, maybe a little funny. You know that feeling of freedom that you don't realize it's freedom when you get to leave your house? You can get in your car and drive away. You know, you make sure you have your coffee, your purse, wallet, and you just go. Yeah, I don't have that anymore. I'm grateful for it, don't get me wrong. However, I'm getting 2 bags ready and 2 people ready, and it often comes with, let's get your jacket on, and then I don't realize until I get outside that I don't have my own jacket on. Or let's get your juice and snack all ready to go, and I realize like, hey, I've left the house and I haven't had breakfast yet. So I would say the convenience of just being like an individual and being able to just do and not think of another person. Stating the obvious, but that's one thing that's different. And another thing that's really different, which I would love to get into more, I'll get into it a little bit now, but I would love to have an episode revolve around it, is the unpredictability after you have a child. And this goes for being a mom, but a parent in general. I know my husband goes through it as well. You don't always know your identity anymore. You surprise yourself every day. You know, the way you would feel about something, you could feel the complete opposite. Or, I don't have much patience to start. I'm a very nice person, but the word patience doesn't run through my veins. But I feel like I can give more grace in certain situations, but also have less patience sometimes as well. I definitely throw myself for a loop. Like I said, my daughter is going to be 2, and I'm still finding myself as a mom. I've only been a mom for 2 years, and that's not a lot of time. Time flies. So at the end of the day, how is life different after being a mom? It's such a good loaded question. How is life different? I would just say in every aspect, and I wouldn't change it for the world. At the end of the day, you used to be able to just, I don't know, have a drink or your nighttime tea or binge watch your show. And of course, you can still do that after she goes to bed. But at the end of the day, I love the shift of the night where it's nighttime cuddles instead of being able to maybe get my skincare, self-care in every night. I love the disruption. So she's amazing. Being a mom is amazing. I just feel like that question is definitely going to need a more in-depth answer, and I really need to think about it a little bit more. An easier question, number 4, what's your go-to breakfast? So I'll take this question as if I could have the time to make myself the breakfast I wanted every morning, what would it be? Because frankly, my go-to breakfast is whatever I shove into my mouth after I make my toddler her breakfast, and that's okay. But I would love a good avocado toast with some eggs, maybe some steak and eggs, and a side of fruit. Yeah, that sounds like paradise to me. And last question for today, what is something you wish you learned earlier in life? Another really loaded question. I would say off the top of my head, I used to only people please. I never really found my backbone, honestly, until I was a mom. So maybe that also is something tacked onto the other question that's different. I definitely self-advocate more, which is a beautiful thing. I wish I learned it earlier with jobs that I had. Even when I think back to, middle school and high school, I would just go with the flow, even if it's not what I wanted to do. I would let people walk all over me. I would let people tell me what to do. I would be so afraid to speak up. And really, I've found my voice. Obviously, that's why I'm here today. I've found my voice through the years. But since having Callie, I feel that has just skyrocketed. I will do anything now to make sure that my peace is kept at home, because that's the least I can give to her. That is definitely the biggest thing that I wish I learned earlier in life. I want to take a second to thank everybody who has shown their support for this podcast so far. I started an Instagram for this podcast months ago, and it already has such an amazing following. I try to post as close to every day as I can. The feedback has been phenomenal, and I cannot thank you guys enough for taking time out of your day to answer my poll questions, to like and share my posts, to already be here on day 1 for this first episode. I truly feel any podcaster would love to have a following before they even start, or have people excited for episode 1. And I can say that I have that, which is really, really, really cool. So that being said, the best way that you can help me is to like and share everything you see. My Instagram is at A Lot of Alexis podcast. My TikTok, which is yet to be started, will be at A Lot of Alexis podcast, because you can't not have a TikTok these days. And even if I'm not posting something that's enough engagement for you that day, you can always message me. You don't have to wait for me to say, hey, give me a question to answer, or this. If you have any ideas or any input or anything that you want to hear, my DMs are open. So definitely send them. I would love to hear from everybody. Just ideas and what you want to hear on your way to work or while you're cleaning your house, anything. I'm here for it. So, like I said, I'm going to have some awesome people on, and I could not be more excited. And overall, I just want to give you a teaser into what season 1 is really going to entail. We're going to talk about all the things that I've already covered, all the aspects of my life. It's going to be juicy. We're going to get into pop culture. We're going to get into the good, the bad, and the ugly. The best conversations are unfiltered, and that is all that is going to happen here. Which gets me into, we are going to talk about politics as well. And the world is crazy right now, and you don't have to agree with everything that I say, and that is totally fine. You know, you're here to listen to me, and you don't have to like everything that I say, but I hope you just eventually fall in love with me, and it's good enough for you. So with that being said, I get to leave you with my very first sign off, and I want to say thank you for joining me today, where there's a lot to say, a lot to do, and a whole lot of Alexis.
I wake